Remember, dismissive avoidants are born in households, okay, where their parents avoided them, okay, or avoided giving them their emotional care, okay. They were in households where their needs were not met emotionally, okay, all right. So they were often in households where the caregiver, all right, was sometimes abusive. It could be something, and abusive can be emotionally neglect, by the way, abusive, or the parent punished them for relying on their caregiver. Let me give you an example. You grew up in a household where, you start trying to feel, you start having emotions, and your parents are like, we don't do emotions here. You try to discuss your emotions with your parents, and they're like, they're literally denying your very existence of emotions by telling you, why are you being weak? Why are you being weak? Why are you being soft? Why are you crying like this? Is it going to solve your issues? Is it going to solve your problems? Are you going to eat when you have these emotions? Are you going to change? Right? When they start not only denying you, not only dismissing you, when they start, insulting and then punishing you, when they get to that place, when they put you that space, when they do that, they are now emotionally neglecting you. And many of us grew up in households that were emotionally neglectful. Right? Maybe, let me give you an example. Right? You came, you brought your drawing, and you showed your mum or you showed your dad, and you said, "Dad, look at this drawing." Right? And this happens from very, very young, from very young. You show them your drawing and say, "Dad, look at my drawing." And your dad's like, I've not got the time. Now, listen, our parents may have been thinking about making money because maybe they have come to another country. Those of us who are, first generation or second generation in the country, they're thinking about how to make money. I hear it. But in doing so, they have now neglected the child. Maybe you can tell your parents a story, and instead of your parents indulging you in that story, they told you, grow up. Grow up. Like, what are you doing? Right? So that's something else that happens, right? Or you go in, you tell them, maybe you're a teenager now, and you come and you tell them stories about, maybe, there's a boy that you like or a girl that you like. And they're like, why are you getting stressed about heartbreak? Get over it, man. Like, did you die? Did you die? You didn't die, so get over it. Right? When you're punished for trying to rely on a parent, trying to be dependent on that parent. When you start realizing, right, that you had to figure out your whole schooling. Damn. You had to figure out your whole schooling. You had to find money for your own clothes, for school, for your own shoes. When you had to go to your own parent-teacher day, because your parents were either working, or your parents are like, I'm not going to that thing. Right? Maybe you told them about your achievements. You were in sports. Right? Some of you were runners. Some of you were footballers. Some of you were basketball players. And they told you, I'm not coming to that game. And yet, if some of you have made it, they now want to know. You understand? Right? They don't support you. Didn't back you. Didn't believe in you. Said actually you couldn't make it. Right? This emotional neglect. Right? Were disrespectful. Called you names. You're fat. You're ugly. You smell. You stink. Right? Saying harsh words to you when you were young. This is going to be emotional neglect. Okay? And technically it's actually abuse. All right? So the children are punished for relying on their caregivers. Or even so, maybe some of you were parentified. A lot of you were parentified. You are the third parent in that household. You are your sibling's parent. In fact, your siblings owe you, not your parents. Because you were the one looking after them. Of course, you didn't pay the bills. But emotionally, you had to be there for them. You went to your siblings' parent-teacher day. When your siblings got into beef, It wasn't your parents that came to save them. It was you. Right? When your parents forgot the packed lunch, it was you that ran back to go and get the packed lunch for them. It wasn't your parent. It was you that walked home with them every night or every day. Right? You start becoming that you're a third parent in your household, and you realize you've been neglected by your own parents. You're the man of the house. You're 12. What do you mean you're the man of the house? You are 12. You are not man of any house. You are the boy in the house. Right? Extenuating, responsibility before your time. Right? And so what you don't realize is you're having to abandon your own needs in order to accommodate other people's. Your needs were not taken care of and they were not appreciated. So you've learned to be hyper independent. In fact, you know how it shows up? You're that friend, in fact, that tells you, when you see someone crying, you're like, why are they crying? You are now that person. I don't know why they're crying. You're now that person that says, listen, there's no time to cry because bills got to get paid. I don't have time for it. You understand what I'm saying to you? You are that person that says, shit's got to get done. It don't matter what you feel. It's got to get done. You are the friend in that group. It's got to get done. We've got to have this conversation. It's got to get done. I ain't got time for it. Yeah? You're the friend that says, they're petty. You feel more mature in your friendship groups than anybody else. Right? You feel like you're the person that, listen, like, I can't even lie to you. I haven't, people are immature. To you, everybody's immature in your age group. Some of you are even dating people that are bigger than your age. And you're dating them that are bigger than your age because you think you're more mature than you actually are. And what you don't realize is you may be more mature in terms of responsibilities, but you're emotionally stunted. You are still a child. Your emotional maturity is still stunted. Don't get it twisted. Yes, you can handle life stresses and finances and all that, but you're actually emotionally stunted. You're still a child. You know how we know? You can't tell us what your needs are. Not without shouting, not without getting angry, not without getting resentful. In fact, you are the friend that says, I'm everybody's rock. I am under the rock. The rock is higher than I. Jehovah hides me under the rock. Go tell my enemies I am under the rock. You are the friend that is a rock to everybody. You are the friend that everybody's secrets are involved with. You are the friend that is Switzerland. When people beef, they come to you. You are the friend that when everything is going wrong, they're like, listen, what's your advice? But you're also the friend that also says, actually, you know what? I'm always everybody's confidant, but no one's my confidant. I'm always helping other people, but where are they when I need them most? You are always saying, listen, I can't trust them to do a job. I don't want to trust people with that. You're the person that says, you know what? I'm afraid of disappointment. That's why I do what I do. I don't like being disappointed. I don't trust people to do it, so I'll do it myself. You know what I'm saying to you? You're the person that says, I don't want to ask anyone for help because it makes me feel weak. You're the person that says, listen, if I ask them for help, you got one time to say no. I promise you, I'll never ask you again. I promise you, one time. The one time I'm asking you for help, I don't ever ask you for help, but I've asked you one time. You're not asking me, you're not helping me. Trust me, I'm done out here, cuz. Yeah? This is what avoidance are. This is dismissive avoidance. Okay? You are oftentimes, yes, very mature in the things of life and solving those problems. But emotionally, you're stunted. Emotionally, you have what we call delayed reactions. Let me talk about that really quickly for you. Some of you are dismissive avoidance. Some of you have delayed, what we call delayed reaction. What is that? Something happens that's emotional. You get pissed off, but you don't get pissed off in that moment. It hits you a couple of hours later, a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later. And you're like, nah. Disrespect. Oh. Nah. That's what we call delay reaction, right? Things happen and you can't say it in the moment because you're trying to avoid a conflict. So you have a delay reaction, right? A couple hours later. And then what happens is this. You think about it and you go, hold on a minute. It's been a few hours or a few days. And then you're like, it's too late. I can't even go back now. Yeah, I can't even go back and have a conversation with them. No, I can't. Because it happened already. It's gone. The moment's gone. The time is gone. So there's no point going back anymore. And what you don't realize is every time you say, I can't go back anymore. Today you're not gonna cuss them out. Okay? But maybe on the 5th time, the 4th time, okay, you're going, I've allowed you once, I've allowed you twice, I've allowed you 3 times. We're on the 4th time that you're doing this. Oh, you think I'm a monk. You think I'm a dick. Oh, no. You don't respect this friendship. You don't respect me. You don't respect the friendship. Oh, I see it now. It's me that's a fool. Now you're going to cuss them out. And in reality, what really happened is you let it build up. You let the animosity build up because you did not address it at the immediate time. And here's why you didn't address it. Because when you're under pressure in a situation which has a lot of anxiety, you don't have emotional language. Now, somebody going, listen, don't shoot me. Some of you might do, but for a lot of people, you don't have emotional language. What I mean by that is you don't know how to determine the emotions. So when you're feeling what you're feeling something, but you don't know how to label it very well. So when you don't know how to label something very well, you're afraid of how it's going to express itself. Right? You're afraid of how it's going to come out. Also, avoidants have a very bad relationship with anger. In fact, avoidants have a very bad relationship with any kind of emotion that's negative. I'm going to ask you a question. This is something I did with a coaching session today, actually. Let me ask you a question. Is envy bad? I need some responses in the chat to me. Know that you're with me. Is envy bad? Type in the chat with me. Is envy bad? Let's see what he's saying. I want to get some points of view. Is envy bad? Talk to me. Is envy bad? Okay. I'm getting some yeses. I'm getting a lot of yeses and some no's in there. Okay. We're getting some yeses in there. Is envy bad? Okay. Is jealousy bad? I want to know. Is jealousy bad? Okay. Is jealousy bad? I want to know your thoughts. Is jealousy as an emotion, is it bad? I want to know. Is jealousy bad? Okay. All right. Jealousy's bad. Okay. Is joy good? Is joy good? I want to know, is joy good? Is joy good? Someone said joy is yes. Joy, yes. Joy, yes. Okay. I'm going to test you. If joy, can you have joy when somebody has fallen flat on their face? Think back to a time where somebody pissed you off and their karma came round and you were joyful. Was that not bad? Or are you saying, it's karma. Even though you were joyful at the falling down of somebody. The Bible says we should not be rejoicing when people fall. But you were joyful in that moment. So is joy good? So is joy good? The reality of the situation is there's no such thing as good or bad emotions. What you're talking about is your level of comfortability in experiencing those emotions. You see, the Bible says that be angry, sin not. The problem isn't the